When you think of feminism, what comes to mind? The early suffrage movements? Gloria Steinem? Or maybe the 19th Amendment to the Constitution giving women the right to vote? Chances are you think of something that has to do with earlier women's movements. This is because most people assume that feminism has ran its course and is dead. I am here to inform you that feminism is still very much alive and kicking. First, we will look at what brought about the newest wave of feminism in today's society. Second, we will take a look at the goals and focuses of today's feminist. And lastly, we will discuss the new feminist as an individual. From the article, Becoming the Third Wave by Rebecca Walker, she states, "I am not a post-feminism feminist. I am the third wave." You may be wondering what a wave is. A wave is just simply a word that feminists use to categorize the three different phases of feminism thus far. It's like a subcategory of feminism. The end of the second wave and the start of the third came about in the late 1980s and early 90s and is still going today. The newer, younger feminists had different views and disagreed with the numerous amounts of women that the first and second waves left out, which is discussed further in my next point. It was women like Rebecca Walker, daughter of Alice Walker, who wrote The Color Purple, that brought about the third wave. Rebecca Walker is a popular third wave feminist and is black and bisexual, two of the groups that were left out in the first and second waves of feminism. In her prose piece, Becoming the Third Wave, first published in 1992 in Miss Magazine, Rebecca Walker was actually the first term to coin the phrase third wave feminist. Along with the new wave comes new goals and new focuses. Let's look at some of those now. The main focus of the third wave feminist is equality for all people. Second and first wave feminists historically failed to incorporate the voices of many women in today's society. They were aimed at middle-class, heterosexual, white women. The third wave would like to include everyone, including women of color. According to the Arizona State University Women's Studies website, the first and second wave happened alongside with the civil rights movement. And since the women of color at the time thought that the feminist movement was aimed only for white women, they kept their focus on civil rights and not on the feminist movement. They felt left out, and the third wave would like to change this. Also, third wave feminists want to acknowledge and work for the rights and equality of the GLBT community, which is the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community. The Stanford University Gender Studies website says that the second wave was actually not very accepting of lesbians at all. They didn't like the world's perception that all feminists had to be lesbians, so in turn they outcast the ones that were. Betty Friedan, who is actually a well-known second wave feminist and wrote The Feminine Mystique, called them the Lavender Menace. Third wave feminists are very involved in the in the fight for gay rights. Lastly, the first and second waves tended to put the focus on rights for middle-class women. For example, in the fight for abortion rights, they fought for the right for women to have the choice to have an abortion, but they did not think about the cost or the woman who could not afford it. So, if a low-class woman decided she wanted to exercise her right to have an abortion, she couldn't do it because she didn't have the money. Third wave feminists are very involved in women's clinics and would like to get this fixed. Now that you know about the new views of the third wave, the last thing to discuss is the new feminist as an individual. Not only has the views and focus of feminism changed, the feminists themselves have changed. The definition of feminism in the Webster's Dictionary is the theory of political and social equality of the sexes. This is a very traditional definition of feminism, and today's feminists would like you to decide what feminism is on your own. The new feminism is not as much about social activism as it has been in the past, but more about individual empowerment and deciding for yourself what a feminist is. The perception of most is that a feminist must be a woman, but third wave feminists include many male feminists such as Alan Johnson, who's in his book Privilege, Power, and Difference talks about the struggles of being a male feminist and the realization that being a male gives him certain privileges that women do not have. Third wave says that feminism and a feminist is anyone who believes in equality for all races, sexes, and people of all classes. Lastly, people are scared of the word feminism and are scared to call themselves a feminist, as shown in the video I have attached. Third wave feminists want to show people that the F word is not a bad thing, and instead is actually a very self-empowering thing. To be a feminist does not mean you have to be a raging lesbian who doesn't shave her armpits or attend rallies. To be a feminist simply means that you are a free thinker who believes in equality for all. So today, I have talked about the new wave of feminism in today's society, today's feminist belief in equality for all, and finally, a new definition of feminism. Feminism and its values may have changed over the years, but one thing that third wave feminists would like you to know is that feminism is still very much alive.